and welcome to another day of art class. So I wanted to make this video for you all today to help you along with your Greek pottery vase project dealing with line. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so the primary materials that I'm going to need for this project are already laid out before me. I have my trusty pair of scissors right here. I also have a pencil, and I also have my Sharpies as well, both a thinner one as well as a thicker one. And I also have my paper bag. So when you have your paper bag, the very first thing that you want to do is you want to cut out one of the sides right here. So that's the very first thing that I am going to do as part of this project. All right, so with that, one side of my paper bag is already cut out. So this is what I'm going to use as the base for my vase. So you'll notice that my paper bag and maybe your paper bag has kind of like this top part here, right here. We're going to ignore that section and we're going to focus on now making this the vase. So at this time, you are welcome to, with your pencil, free draw it as best you want, and that's fine. You can definitely do that, but there's a slightly easier way to do this by using symmetry. So the way that symmetry works is I'm going to now take this bag and I'm going to fold it kind of in the opposite direction, understanding that this is going to be the front of my vase, but I'm just going to fold it to where I have both sides relatively equal. Okay, so I'm going to fold it in half. The next thing I'm going to do is once I have my bag folded in half with my pencil, I'm going to come back in and I'm going to sketch my vase, but only as if I were to cut that vase in half. So I'm going to just draw my vase. I want it to have a nice angle, maybe nice skinny little neck. A nice round body, flat bottom, but I also want it to have some handles too, as many Greek vases did. So I'm going to come back in, I'm going to draw the section for my handles. I'm already feeling pretty good about that design. So now at this stage, I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. But there are some tricks that I do want to discuss, especially when cutting out the handle. If you draw a handle for your vase, that may be a little bit tricky. So as I'm cutting out my vase, it's important that I start with the outline first, and I'm still keeping it folded. Just drop the scissors a little bit. So that's the outline. This can be put aside, so I'm just going to discard of that. And I still have yet to cut this part of the handle out. So what you can do is very gently, I'm going to pinch that, and I'm only going to get the space that I know that I need. So one way is to cut your handle, but you can also too, you can always cut a little hole in that space by holding it. That way I can go back into that hole that I've made. I can just cut and slide that hole so I don't have to worry about cutting through my paper. Okay. So at this point, I have half of a vase. So by the time that I go back to unfold it, I will see that I have a perfect vase, symmetrical, which means the same on both sides. At this point, now what I can start doing is I can start drawing in my story for the center and all the different line techniques that I'm going to use to decorate my vase. So there you have it.